So what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to JA News. So it's currently the day after the devastating shock drop of the Jordan 1 Lost and Found, which has left the sneaker community in shambles. So many people disappointed about this release. We're gonna talk all about it. We have an early unboxing here. This hype collaboration, some people are already calling these sneaker of the year. I'm not really sure about all that, but we're gonna check them out. And of course, we got an update on the Nike StockX lawsuit. It seems like an interesting development has taken place. And of course, we're covering all of the latest and greatest in sneakers. So you can catch JA News weekdays, Monday through Friday. If you guys are enjoying the show, let me know by hitting the like button. And I want to give a huge thanks to all of the new subscribers. So let's keep that momentum going. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. So it's a day after the Jerry Lorenzo Fear of God 8th collection, the very first Fear of God runway show in celebration of the 10th year anniversary. And in my opinion, Jerry didn't disappoint. So I want to kick today off by just giving a big salute to him and congratulations on the great job and keeping things fresh and innovative for a decade now. So most importantly for the show, I feel like the Fear of God Adidas basketball silhouette is what the sneaker community had their eyes on over 2 years in the making. And after a day going by, letting things sink in, I finally took some time to kind of gauge the opinion of what people thought and to take a look at what people's first initial reactions were of this silhouette. Keep in mind, anytime a new silhouette debuts on the market, a lot of people aren't gonna like it, and that's just due to the fact that we're just humans, you know, people aren't really used to change, they're not used to new things, so you gotta keep that in mind. So based off the reception online, I feel like the reaction was kind of 50-50. I would say people that are fans of Jerry Lorenzo and Fear of God, they were fans of it, but I feel like on the other side, you know, the Nike fans, they weren't really digging it as much. So I feel like it was 50-50. A good thing about it though, I think that there is a market of people that were huge Yeezy fans, that there's kind of a void left there. So this is an opportunity for Adidas to kind of win some of those people over. And I feel like Jerry, by just pleasing his fans, I feel like he accomplished the mission, so salute to him. I'm definitely digging the black colorway over the white one, and I feel like for the very first drop, I'm expecting it to be a limited release, and then hopefully other colorways down the line will have a wider and more available release. And I'm also curious to see what other colorways we can expect, you know, outside of those two first initial previews. All right, so this should be an exciting one. Ever since the images of these first leaked out, you know, a few people here and there were starting to say sneaker of the year. I'm not sure about all of that. These joints are definitely clean. This is a brand that I've started to kind of come around to more so, or some people would say jumping on the hype bandwagon, but I just genuinely appreciate, you know, what they bring to the table. So I'm talking about New Balance. Now, when it comes to ALD and New Balance, I feel like they do a lot more hits than misses. So here we have the 1906R. This is a hype collab to say the least. New Balance just dropped the 860 V2s in 3 colorways. I'm a big fan of that release, and it looks like they're gonna follow it up with the 1906R, which for a lot of New Balance fans, this is the New Balance silhouette of the year. So here you have the classic green box with the New Balance gold logo here. But let's go ahead and get into the sneakers. Of course, I have a full detailed on-feet review of these joints coming very soon. So you got the green dust bag with the little New Balance logo on there. But let's go ahead and check out the shoes here, y'all. What are your first impressions of these joints right here? I mean, they're definitely giving that metallic Y2K-esque vibe. You got the cream and green ALD classic right here. These joints are pretty cool, and the 1906s are seeming to be a big hit so far. So what are your first impressions on these? I feel like for New Balance fans, these are a must cop, but if you're kind of one of those people that are on the fence, does this first look kind of change your opinion? Of course, we will have the on-feet and full detailed review coming soon. So like I said, make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of these looks. But just off the first impressions, I would say these joints are not bad. Sneaker of the year, hell no. And I may even go as far as to say I kind of like the 860 V2s a little bit better than these when it comes to New Balance ALD collabs, but let me know what you guys think, and be on the lookout for that full review coming soon. All right, so I feel like it's time we talk about this Jordan 1 Lost and Found shock drop. Let me know how upset and disappointed you guys are about the drop. So initially we had the time for the shock drop. It seemed like it got delayed a couple of times, and then Nike finally decided to go ahead and release one of the most highly anticipated releases of the year. And how did things go? So for me, I actually got the notification a little bit late. I feel like the first time I heard about it was my man Daydash Kicks on IG. I believe he posted it. So jumped into the sneakers app, was able to successfully, easily enter into my size 10.5, which I heard a lot of people having issues with the app, like crashing, payment declines, or not even being able to hit the submit button. But for me, everything went through fine. But of course, I was hit quickly with the disappointment of not being selected, which really didn't bother me at all. I do have a pair already here behind me, which I did actually pay resale for, but I wasn't really disappointed in the fact that I felt like I had probably zero chance of hitting these, as for the Nike sneaker app, JA has absolutely no success at all. So do you guys feel like maybe I should start talking positively about Nike and Jordan releases? Maybe that'll change my luck. I'm just playing, but I had no luck. I didn't really care about hitting on those joints anyways, because if I was gonna grab a pair, I was just gonna flip them anyway. So I wasn't mad, but it seems as though a lot of people had their expectations really set high. Rumors were that there was a lot of stock available, but then once they actually dropped, it seemed like the story may have changed. And one thing I want to say is that all of these sneaker YouTubers out there and all of these experts, like whether they're on Instagram or whatever, are all cap. I feel like these dudes have like no clue of what's really going on. At least when we had Yeezy releases, JA was your insider, and I always came through with the solid, reliable info. But it seems like these sneaker YouTubers out here covering Jordan and Nike releases are just like clout chasers, and they're just all cap. But regardless, it's cool because it just keeps the hype going and it's fun. So regardless if the info's cap or whatever, I feel like it's cool or whatever, just to bring the excitement around. But I'm not feeding into it. This release was crazy. If you ask me, all the stock numbers, information, all that is just fake. And I feel like there was a limited drop for this release. So if you were lucky enough to be able to cop these, salute to you. I wonder though if people are really just going for this release because they just want to flip these pairs, or if they're actually looking to buy them to actually wear, which leads us right into our next story about resellers and StockX. So this individual right here is one of StockX top sneaker resellers. Now, in an article covered by Business Insider, it's reported that he has made over $1.4 million in sales from reselling on StockX. Now, according to the article, it says a turning point for the business came when StockX asked for a meeting a few years ago with this specific sneaker reseller. So it quote says, "I eventually garnered the attention of my StockX account manager at the time. We grabbed coffee, and this is where the business really took off," he said. So it said that he had been rising up StockX seller rankings. The company offered the opportunity to store the inventory at a local warehouse, which fast-tracked how quickly his team could authenticate items and ship them out to customers. So Nike, they're working with resellers to take down StockX, but StockX, of course, they've been working with resellers the entire time. So it's crazy to see that StockX has like personal relationships with their top resellers on the app. And it's crazy that they're working with them directly, like being able to store inventory for them, which allows them to be able to easily resell these products and store them in their warehouses. That way they're able to ship them out even faster. So while I really don't condone like sneaker reselling full time, and I feel like it's kind of lame and it takes away the opportunity from people that actually want to buy the shoe. I'm never mad at somebody that just buys like a couple of extra pairs to flip. That way they're able to buy sneakers that they really like. But this is taking things to a whole nother level. And this individual right here has profited over $1 million just off of us wanting hype sneakers. And the worst part about it is he quote says, "I never had a passion for sneakers, streetwear, or any of it. All of it was like business to me." He said it was just solely for the purpose of making money. So this is really what sneakers has become now. It's not really about actually just loving and enjoying the shoes. It's just becoming about how much profit you can make off of the next man. And as for an update on the Nike versus StockX lawsuit, the last big update that we heard was that a certain reseller purchased various Jordan 1 62 pairs to be exact from StockX, of which allegedly 38 pairs turned out to be fake. He apparently had these pairs verified by Nike, which confirmed for them to be fake, in which they added this to their current lawsuit that they have against StockX. But according to court documents, they asked Nike to provide documentation related to any secondary visual inspection process that aids the company in determining the legitimacy of its sneakers. StockX says that Nike failed to comply with the order and did provide sufficient documentation around how it inspects counterfeits. So basically what happened right here is that StockX called Nike out. They want them to provide documentation on how they verify that these particular sneakers are fake. And it looks like currently, as of right now, Nike has failed to do so. So in my opinion, this lawsuit is getting crazy. I feel like a lot of skeletons are gonna come out the closet by the end of this entire lawsuit. And I think the bigger picture right here is that Nike really can't determine if some of these shoes are real or fake, whether it's due to their poor quality control over pairs that are mass produced, or if it's really a credit to just how good some of these fakes have become. I feel like this is an interesting development in the case. So we're gonna see how things go here, but like I said, I feel like a lot of skeletons are gonna come out the closet here with this lawsuit, and a lot of things are gonna be exposed in the sneaker industry. And then the big leak from yesterday, the Jordan 4 military blue making a comeback summer 2024. This is an OG Jordan 4 colorway making a comeback with the Nike Air on the back. And this is a pair that JA actually used to own, not the 2012 pair, but actually the 2006 pair. So this was back in the day. I think I was like 17. One of my first jobs. This was one of the first retro Jordans that I was able to buy myself back in the day. I remember these joints weren't really hype or anything like that. I remember being able to just easily cop them for retail, like probably months after the release. And I think the retail back then for Jordan 4s was like $120. So yeah, I remember owning these back in the day. I feel like the updated Jordan 4s that they've been releasing, the shape is much better than the pairs that we got back in 2006. So this is a great colorway. It's a classic. Jordan fans are gonna be super excited. The Nike Air on the back is always a nice touch. So this is a great release from Jordan brand to keep the hype and momentum going. For me, I'll be sitting this pair out, as I'm not big into Jordans anymore, but I do like to, cop some of the classic OGs from time to time, just to kind of appreciate and just kind of keep like on display as trophies, and just to kind of give me some nostalgia. But for me, I'll sit this pair out. If I do happen to cop a pair though, I'll just like flip them maybe on StockX or something, just like everybody else out there. Why not make $1 like all the other resellers? Maybe I should just become a full-time reseller. That way I can, make my $1 million on StockX. But this is great news for the sneaker community. More hype releases from Nike and Jordan brand. So we're gonna wrap things up here. Let me know if you guys are excited for those. Drop your feedback on all of the topics covered today. And if you enjoyed this episode of JA News, be sure to help me out by smashing the like button. So happy Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys on Monday. Love.